Greetings, traveler.
We are diving into this Zorgo game. We got ourselves Beast, Dragon, Murloc, Pirate, and Undead. Also, during these reviews, I don't really look at chat very much because the flow is pretty bad to like answer questions in between. So we're taking the Voon. He's got an interesting start here. He's going front rake to then copy what comes out of the front rake. Actually, all of these are great, right? Yeah. Wow, this is like spoiled for choice. Because you can go for Skipper, which is always a solid choice. Looks like he is going to stay on tier 1. You could take the Scout, because the Scout will always give you a card in your hand, which is easy to copy with Voon. And then there's Front Rake, which also puts a card in your hand to copy with Voon. Pretty cool. Alright, so cycle the Skipper, get the spell. So I don't love this curve. Ooh, I was gonna say, unless I have more money. Now the curve works out incredibly well for him. Because if you play this and you don't get the Pirate, next turn you'll have 2 gold and tiering costs 3. So you'll need 1 extra gold to be able to buy something. So if there was another Skipper, it'll be fine. Hello, Pops. Thank you for the full year. Welcome back. I wonder if that makes sense actually to go and stay on tier 1. Not that it's necessarily wrong, but I wonder what he had in mind, because you can't bank on getting the Pirate. So he must have been happy to get a spell on average, right? He could get a coin, he could get, I don't know, a pointy arrow on the shield or something, and then he would have 3 units. There's also the upside, right? You can get lucky. Yeah, right. The Dragon Pop procs first, that's so cool. That's really nice. Why don't I use background music? There's all kinds of problems with that. We have them for the videos, but for the live streams it just doesn't make sense. Alright, there we go. Deploying our dragons. This is a really solid turn 4. Now he's super strong. And now you could just level straight to 4 most likely and then take your trinket. Alright, here we go. Alrighty, there we go. So, like we said, very likely just go straight to 4. Oh, he has the overconfidence, right. Oh, he wants to sell the pirates for the trinkets, I think. So then he may as well just get the Divine Shield and the overconfidence. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's smart. So he wants to get a good lesser trinket. He wants to get a dragon-related trinket. Pirates don't have the worst trinkets either, but the Chroma Drake trinket is just broken, so... It's, I think that's why he's doing it. Interesting shop, wow. He's still got the bounty one, but it's at a discount now. That's pretty good, honestly. Discounted bounties. If he gets gold, he could level. He's checking the 4 drops, what he could hit. If there's any cool stuff. I don't know, I like bounties at a discount. Oh, I guess you're proccing your Voon. So the portal would give you another one to copy, but I don't think you care. Top hat, wow, just wants to fill out the board. Okay. Elemental that he could triple? How do you play this? With all this money, does he want to level? Like, what's going on here? This is where I'm happy I'm not playing it. I say that quite often, yeah, so definitely leveling, cool. So I guess he's just gonna go for the triple on the Felly. Oh, wow. Oh, he wants to triple the triple. Oh, okay, he's just going in this turn. Wow, okay. Yeah, seeing that, it obviously makes sense. Double ignition. Okay, so he's just gonna go for the... Man, this is tricky. There's so much to do here. But this... It makes a lot of sense when you see it, but... Who here would have done that, chat, to be honest? Oh my god, and we get a good opponent too. This Millhouse is like, I don't need to add minions to my board, right? I guess he's on tier 5. Almost has to be, right? No damage is criminal here. You would have clicked Consummate. Yeah, but you have no way of really doing... I guess you have one guy that adds fodders, but I don't think that's good enough. You would have tripled the triple reward. I think that's almost always worse. I think 2 of the same triple is better than 2 discoveries. Right? Because 2 of the same is going to push you more towards the direction you're going down in. whereas one of each could be totally different choices. So I'm usually not a fan of going for the triple reward. It's gonna go for the Discover 6 drop here, I guess. Wow. It's because his armor was preserved. You could see him make these plays, right? Where he got away with not taking damage last turn, and now he's feeling super bold, where he can only take 10 anyway. If you don't hit a good 6, it's a safety net. Yeah, but it's just not good on average. Like, this is, I don't mind talking about this, right? This is something that chat does very, very often. And with chat, I just mean the average player, right? Because it's a very human thing to want to do that. To try to not have something bad happen. So you think about the downside, what could go wrong, and then people play for, and they forget about what could go right. And if you are trying to climb, if you're trying to make good decisions, you have to see with what would be the best on average. And getting 2 of the same 6 drops is definitely better on average than getting 2 different ones. It's just that we as humans are so much better at predicting the downside than the upside. I hope that makes sense. So you see this very often. Bonjolans, thank you so much for the 9 months. You see this very often on pro players. They are far more optimistic than chat. Like they play very optimistic. It's because they know that on average it's better to play like that than to think about all the stuff that could go wrong. Because it's asymmetrical, if that makes sense. Okay, so we got Nala here to stabilize. Let's see what he gets. Futurefin, Nala, okay. And he's Voon. You could copy the Futurefin, but probably want to play it. So he's just gonna hold horse. Or horse for Nala, maybe. Oh, yeah, the scout is better, because then you could just play Futurefin, right? This is awkward. Yeah, you can't hold that. Your Voon hero power is only next turn. So he's just gonna spam buff it with Nala. Yeah. You've learned something. That's really cool. That's nice. Okay, yeah, he's just doing this for tempo. That's cool. He's gonna hold coin. He feels comfortable. Yeah, where was it gonna go with that? Yeah, so the thing is that it's asymmetrical. So not necessarily this example, but very often when something goes right, you very often can just win the game off that. And when it goes wrong, it doesn't necessarily lose you the game straight away. So just because it can go wrong to some degree, players want to avoid that. Like, it's a very bad feeling that something goes wrong. So players try to avoid that at all costs. But high-level players, they just take a chance, because if that doesn't work out, then there's another chance, and then there's another chance, and then there's another chance. It's all about just understanding what are good risks to take, because top-level players take risks all the time. It's just that very often, when that risk doesn't pay off, they are still fine. And when it pays off, they win the game. So these are just really good risks to take, right? That's a very good profile. It's like, oh, if it goes right, I win the game. If it goes wrong, I'm fine. Okay, great. I will take that risk over and over and over. And it's why they create these like crazy boards. Whew. All right. Now we get, man, this early copy on the faceless. So if he faces, he could get double. Oh, he could copy faceless. Okay. Kind of didn't hate copying faces, and he has 2 faceless, but what you really need is you need to have another Futurefin in. Ooh. Oh, bro, this is where I hit pause and my brain just goes. All right, we're just gonna watch, but I will just tell you from being in this position before, this is a blessing and a nightmare, because once you have rolled this, the win is there. And it's so annoying because very often you don't find it right away and you run out of time and you're like, oh, so it's very satisfying to watch super high level players navigate it. So why do I say the win is there? It's because he has Nathanos, which means he can add all the stats from 1 minion on top of the Futurefin, which is very good. So that's what he's gonna do. Oh, he's gonna split it? Don't split it. Yeah, he knows. Just messing around with the positioning. Okay, so now he has a big Futurefin, so that is already insane, right? Then he also has this Zephyrus minion, which will copy that Futurefin if he plays it right. He will have to sell down to a certain degree. He also has his Voon buddy in the shop if he wants to. He can also copy Nathanos if he wants to. That's what I mean, right? The options here are incredible for the limited amount of time he has on his turn. It's why he's still on 9 gold on 40 seconds. I would not do better, by the way. Like the amount of things he needs to calculate and think through here are pretty high. Yeah, so he will go for the sell. Because this can be very, very intimidating to do, right? You're like selling down here, but he knows if he gets the Future Fin, he can copy it here. Yeah. You have to, right? Yeah. Okay, we'll still buy stuff. I think it's just a roll, yeah. He has to play the scout and then hold Future Fin, buff Future Fin, Drakkari, yes. Unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, super, super well done. He sells out of the minion as well. He sees that in time that his hand will be too full. Incredible. Just super, super well done. He didn't need to sell Nala since the dragon is a pair. I mean, who cares? Just go. Thinking about that will cost you time. And that time would have then resulted in him not selling the dragon guy in time. Super, super well done. So now, because he has Drakkari, oh my god, now he has a golden one and a regular one. So he still wins the fight, which is huge. He still has his armor. So now what he can do is he can play the golden one to buff the other one. He also has Ravager that he can hold for next turn. Okay, he discovers a golden and it's a Choral. Oh my god, yeah. Also, pre-buying that buddy and saying that, okay, I still have my damage cap, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna bide my time, I'm gonna, like, it's just, yeah. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, chat. You can force another Golden Choral. I think you do. He has the money. Golden Choral will be unbelievable for him. Yeah. I think having seen this board and this hand, I think, yeah, he agrees. Because what else are you rolling for at this point, right? You're kind of good. Choral will give you so much of a survival bonus. Unreal. Getting that Drakkari was also just very good last second. Yep, gets a 6-drop here. He's playing spells to buff his undead. Funny. He can hold that discovery for the buddy, by the way. He just needs to make sure he has enough hand space. Yeah, super well done. Clean. Now he just needs to count his hand space. He's getting 4 from that thing. Oh, I guess his hero power is not triggering. Yeah, that's totally fine. Beautifully executed turn. So now he's gonna have golden Future Fin. That's double the stats, so that's 900, and then times 2, that's 1800. So he gets 1800 on that Future Fin. And then that Future Fin can be put on the board next turn, and it can buff the Ravager. But honestly, I would just keep it in my hand one more turn, because I have 2 corals. So unless I have reason to believe the game is like over really, really soon, you might want to start buffing the Obsidian. But every turn you hold that Future Fin in your hand, it will make the Ravager immediately as big, right? Because all the buffs that were gained from the Future Fin will go on the Ravager, and it's times 2 because of Drakkari. So you're actually never losing stats. However, damage cap just was removed, right? That's the reason why he would do it. He has Hamul to look for Aviator, because he has this Ravager that he very likely wants to keep on the board. So getting Aviator to summon it seems necessary. It's these little things, right? Squeezing in the Golden Belinda for the extra AoE buffs. Ripple roll, there's an Aviator. Yep, it's gonna grab that here. I think he might commit the Future Fin because damage cap just went. If damage cap was on, I'm leaning that he would just keep the Future Fin in his hand. But now if he holds Future Fin in his hand, he will be weaker for this fight, which is dangerous. Not looking for another Aviator. That's fair, I guess. You only really need to summon one thing. Probably wants that Leroy, because we still have garbage to sell off our board. And at this stage of the game, Leroy is pretty good. Depends what he's fighting, though. I don't know exactly what he's fighting. Oh, wow. Not interested. As a Golden Belinda, I just like, I do not care, bro. Also, buys a Drakkari. Still pretty disrespectful for his opponent. I like that. We're gonna still change lighting a little bit. Oh, it's undead. Yeah, the Leroy does not matter. That's why he didn't buy it. Zorgo on top of things here. I really wish that we could have kept that Futurefin in our hand for one more turn. We would have had another 1800 on it, right? So then the Ravager would basically be twice as big next turn. It'd be 10k. Yep. Would have been a 10k Ravager next turn. I guess it's still going to be a 10k Ravager. But it wouldn't grow with... It would grow with 10k per turn, but looks like he timed this perfectly, right? Turn 11, the opponent is so weak. It's only turn 11. The game is going very, very, very quickly. You can play a Ravager here. And pull another Ravager. He needs board space, though. I guess you want that, right? I guess you play a Ravager, pull another one. Have to sell Drakkari, though. On another Aviator, doesn't matter. Alright, we'll pick it up. I mean, this Belinda is not necessary, right? There we go. I want Blaster. So he just wants more stats on that one Ravager, so he's not really afraid of getting scammed. I guess it would triple and go back to his hand anyway. So what's the downside here? If he plays that big Ravager, I guess he just can't play Blaster. Yeah, I guess he just wants Blaster and then put the stats on one unit. That's fair. So 10k on the Ravager, right? Because it was 5k last turn. And then it gets copied here. 11k even. I mean... Okay, little bro. I mean, the entire lobby, you can see that on the top left, by the way. Zorgo is running a plugin that shows him the MMR of his opponents. It pulls data straight from the leaderboard, and you're only on the leaderboard if you have 8,000 or more MMR. None of his opponents are on the leaderboard. So the whole lobby is less than 8,000 MMR, except Zorgo. It's also why he's steamrolling so hard, I guess. This is because there are just not enough high-level players to match a game with. Alright. GG. Oh my god. Beautiful game.